Alright, stream should be up. Let me know when it's online.
Yeah. Damn Twitch delay. Gotta wait like 20 seconds. Alright, we should be good. Talk whenever you want.
Alright.
And I guess this is half of it as well, so.
Yeah, should be... So this is about normal speaking casting volume. And then it gets louder. Much, much louder.
Alright, so I think you could be a tiny bit louder.
I can be louder? Okay.
Tiny bit.
Well, I mean... Yeah, I'll just bring my mic in a little bit closer. How's that?
It's probably better, but we'll see on stream. And yeah, hello everyone on stream, in chat. Sound check.
Did that sound good, Azza? Me moving closer? Also, consider the fact that I'm going to start yelling.
Right, that too. That's going to be a big part of it. Yeah, we also just have a, wait. Yeah, moving closer worked. That worked really well.
Alright, then we should be good. Hi everyone.
And yeah, the music is from Dawngate, like the game, the client.
Yeah, this is client music. I like using the client's music. It's very, very useful. So hi to everyone in stream. We're not actually starting just yet. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. We just wanted to do a little bit of sound check. So, yeah, I'll set the timer in a couple of minutes.
I also want to mess with my equalization settings a little bit, so
yeah,
I'm gonna touch that. Get a little bit more bass in the mic.
A little bit more bass in the mic. Because the mic
turn
needs
up the
more
bass.
The mic needs to turn up the bass.
There we go. That sounds good. The more bass, awesome. Doesn't sound like I'm as distant.
A little less tinny.
Yeah, definitely a lot less tinny. Which is, I kind of hate that noise, that tinny sound.
Yeah.
And then you got quieter as well.
I did?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I could turn down my.
Well, no, I can always go louder.
All right. Wait. So I just turned myself down a little bit. Now you say a sentence.
La 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 la. Yeah, I
great
should...
sentence.
What? Still got 5 minutes before the actual stream starts. No one's expecting professionalism all day long.
Alright, yeah, that sounds good now. We got this.
Alright. Well, I'm going to mute mic, set the timer, get a glass of water, make sure I'm not gonna die.
Water sounds like a good idea. Alright, everyone who's watching, stay tuned for 5 minutes and we'll go live with another 5v5 live shoutcast of the DGSL.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another At What Cost special production. This is a DGSL match casted by me, TheSource, and joining me as always is Azaraki Dragon. Are you here, Sir Dragon?
I am here, and want to say we had an awesome weekend, didn't we?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring you guys an episode of At What Cost last weekend because we were at a local, I put in huge air quotes because there was a lot of driving involved in this event, but we were at a LAN. We were at a cool, fairly small, but pretty big prize pool League of Legends tournament at Connecticut, which is in Connecticut, close to where I live, and I actually drove up to Vermont, picked up Azaraki, and we went and we casted this live event. So we're hoping to put out some cool highlight videos of lots of fun casting, even though it's League of Legends and you guys may hate that. With the passion, it was still a good weekend.
Yeah, I'm all for equality between all esports, and I know Braun is as well. And even though I personally don't like playing Dota and could never get into it, I still appreciate the esports scene and watch the international sometimes. So we're both non-discriminate in terms of esports, I guess. Right?
Esports
There
friendship.
you go.
Esports friendship. So
Zeri.
to make up,
Zeri for all esports.
a Zeri for all esports. So to make up for that, and we'd planned on doing this anyway, we're gonna bring you guys a 5v5 match with our new patent pending formatting for casting the game from two different perspectives of two players. We have Tools from BOB, and we have crap. What's the Where's Para player I'm following?
Beardish.
Yes.
And he's from Where's Para, so...
Yes, he's from Where's Para. So this was a winners bracket finals in the DGSL, which happened over the weekend. DGSL number 4. We actually have Sick Note coming up, so we'll hopefully be able to do a cast of that. But in the meantime, we've got this match. So I'm going to close that.
Alright, so one thing I've always wondered about your countdowns is,
Yes.
do you go 3, 2, 1 and then we start on 1, or do you go 3, 2, 1, go?
3, 2.
You do 3, 2, 1, right?
Yeah, I do 3, 2.
And so we
start.
start on 1. Okay, cool.
Essentially, it should be 3, 2, go.
Sure, why not?
In essence, so yeah, gonna cool down the Dawngate music. Thank you, Waystone, for providing us with both a great game and some awesome music.
Also, shoutouts to that one guy. We didn't catch his name, but he actually came out to Connecticut.
I did catch his name. I got him on my friends list.
You did?
Hold on.
Sweet. But yeah, he visited us, and he was like, "Hey guys, I know you guys from Dawngate," and we were like, "Cool." So that was cool to meet one of the At What Cost viewers at a LAN. That was a really cool experience, and also it's just cool to do all of that. Yeah.
WinVidia 3D.
I'm rambling.
His tag was WinVidia 3D. He actually friended me.
Oh, he added me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering who he was, but I just added it anyway.
Yeah, because generally just kind of just add people in Dawngate, because no one really knows that many people in Dawngate. Like, it's kind of how that goes. Anyways, we should be set to go. I'm going to, the nice shininess. Wait, cat, dang. What did you do? Oh, you jerk. Hold on.
Alright, so
for
we
a
haven't
sec.
even started casting yet, and Braun has already messed up.
No. It didn't lock the hotkey like it was supposed to. So, on one side we have BOB. On the other side we have Where's Para. Thank you, Tools, for taking down the BOB banner this game. Thank you.
Yeah, as soon as we got into the game, I was going to mention that. Like, yeah, no BOB banner this game.
Yeah, Tools actually messaged us, was like, "You like that banner, don't you?" I was like, "It's totally golden. Totally made the cast." Alright,
Awesome.
guys, so we will start in 3, 2, go on the BOB one, and when
And as soon as it syncs up,
and crap.
Yeah, I feel a lot better now, actually.
crap.
I left the volume up on Tools's for a second.
Oh, I thought we had a syncing issue, and I was like, oh no,
No.
please don't let us resync this.
No, we're synced.
I want to resync
Yeah,
it.
that was mine. I muted the other one, and I forgot to mute Tools's because I'm not running them out of the same video program. So on this side we have there's about a quarter second delay. Nope.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, we're fine. So on the side of BOB, they are running Ashabel, Renzo, Varion, Moya, and Dibs.
Yep, and on Where's Parasite, we see Kagen, also with a Kensu, Desecrator, King of Masks, and Zalgus. So far, I'm pretty sure it's Kagen jungle, very popular jungle, one of the fastest clear times in the entire game, especially before a lot of shapers are really released. I know one that's sort of challenging him is Basco. He's got a pretty decent clear time himself, but the spam ability of both of their Qs actually is what makes them such fast clearers. So I think we're just going to end up seeing Kagen stay in the jungle, reach level 6, and then gank while all of his lanes are level 4, like you do as Kagen.
Oh, there was a pretty aggressive 5-man stack going into that bush. They sent all 5 members down to, one, try to go for the invade. Kagen actually stepped out of the bush, which kind of sucked for him. So a little over-aggressive there. Stepped a little too far. Varion took the shot into the bush, and they found them. They did get the ward down on the power buff for BOB. So whereas Para will have a little bit more control, a little bit more knowledge as to the jungle route of what is a Moya, who's also not a bad clear. Mostly his clear speed comes from his ability to move around the map, and there we see him going straight for that power. So I don't know whether or not BOB knew that ward went down, but where's Para's going to see that?
Yeah, and in terms of Moya's clear time, the only real thing that limits his clear time is his energy, because he's going to want to bolt around to get that AoE down, but given his resource, he's one of the few shapers in the game that actually has a resource, it does slow that down a little bit, and it looks like we see Moya crossing over to the other half of the jungle, and I believe that BOB probably ended up seeing that. Or sorry, where's Para probably ended up seeing that?
Yeah, I think they may have seen. I think they may have seen the motion.
So Kagen is actually not going over to steal the resilience buff of Moya, which is a little bit questionable considering that they had full vision of the act of terrorism that was there. So things going down over on the side of Where's Para at the resilience buff, they definitely know, but they're still not deciding to do anything about it. So Kagen's clear is actually going to be a little bit behind.
I think they with the Zalgus Desecrator, that's not a lot of sustained damage. That's mostly just a little bit of burst. Zalgus at very early levels doesn't do an insane amount of damage, so I think they were just like, okay, it's gone. There's nothing we can do about it. Once they realized it, and they probably realized it a little bit too late, they did decide to back off. Also, turns out, I didn't actually realize this, we're watching the same lane from both perspectives, so this is going to be a little bit more locked in for a little while. And a lot of damage down on the Zalgus. Varian going to use that progress gate to step forward. 50 Shades of Alpha lands another Q, and that is going to set Beardish a little bit behind. He's going to have to be careful as to how much he steps up against, that powerful Dibs proc off of a Varian Q, which is a lot of damage.
Definitely. I think in both other times we've casted, they've been jungler and bot lane, and now we have both bot lanes, so we're not really going to be able to see what happens top lane. Let's hope First Blood doesn't happen up there, because I wouldn't want to miss First Blood. But overall, just general trades going on. Both of these lanes are really pokey. Desecrator lands a little bit of CC, and it's perfect for Zalgus to line up his skill shots and get a decent amount of poke in that respect. And on the other side, Dibs, as you said before, his Nightmare proc allows 50 Shades of Alpha to get down a lot more damage when he procs that passive. So either way, there's a lot of poke here. I can't really call anyone who's going to be getting the First Blood and killing anyone, simply because there's not, like you said before, there wasn't enough finishing power on the side of Zalgus Desecrator, and at the same time, Zalgus Desecrator is a pretty safe lane. Anything with Desecrator is a safe lane, let's be honest. So I think, short of a jungle gank, we're not really going to be seeing too much in terms of kills down in the bot lane.
I think I'd say that it's going to be a little bit behind on the jungle ganks coming out of Where's Para, especially because of that steal onto Kagen. Actually, they just saw Moya up at those money pigs, so that might cause a little bit of a transition up top. Actually, that is a 3-man transition up top, and I can only see the mini-map. I'm watching the mini-map. It looks like they're going on top of Moya. Renzo's coming in from behind. Ashabel's coming in from the side. There's still a lot of damage on the side of Where's Para in that top lane. A lot of magic damage, so I would be very, very careful. And I just
even
realized
more for New Age cast. Map casting.
Yeah, map casting. This is insane. So that wasn't Ashabel, it was Kensu. What am I talking about? These freaking tiny icons. I wish we could see what was going on up there. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, a lot of pressure. 50 Shades of Alpha going a little too deep under the tower. Takes a little bit of damage. Is going to have to back off. Got knocked up. Took, I think, maybe one tower shot, or not even. He might have been able to progress gate out before the tower shot went down. Kagan is invading over onto a Spirit Well to get a little bit of harass. Now, Moy is actually in the bottom half of the map. If you take a look at BOB's map, Moy is sort of down there. The Money Pigs, I don't think are up. No, they are not up. Kagan was able to pick those up earlier. And a lot of pings going down there in the top lower, top left side. These Spirit Wells, there's not a really good positioning for them, you know?
I would say east, north, south, and west. I think that's a decent one because you can't really confuse
the Western
north with any
Spirit
other
Well.
ones.
The Western Spirit Well.
Oh, Moya's level 6 though.
Yep, Moya coming in from the side is going to pick up one kill. Has his ultimate already. 50 Shades of Alpha picks up the first blood, and that is going to be Beardish getting dunked by Scrags.
Very, very good play right there. And one thing that's always really good to see about Moya jungle is that in those ganks, when you decide to tower dive, you can go in, do a lot of damage to one shaper, and in this case that was Desecrator, and then use your ultimate to do two things. First of all, help secure the second kill by knocking them up and putting them down wherever you want them to, and in this case outside of tower range, and that also gives the rest of his team a good enough delay to follow up and close the distance, but it also de-aggroes the tower from him. So by the time he used his ultimate, minions were pushed up to the binding, and as soon as he used his ultimate, he became untargetable. The binding couldn't focus him, so the binding went to the minions instead, and they ended up fighting a really, really good engagement right there. Very efficient, not a lot of health being dropped on anyone except for Moya for taking those first couple tower shots.
Yep, meanwhile, top lane, there was a little bit of action going up there. Tools has been looking up there every once in a while, so we're getting a little bit of vision, a little bit of know
just a
what's
little
going
bit.
on. Oh god, I wish we could have got one of the junglers, but it was like the laners were like, we have to be the ones to stream today. It's got to be us. 50 Shades of Alpha laying down the ward. Coggan's actually coming in from the side. He is going to get the snare down, or the slow and the stun down into Tools. Now, meanwhile, McScribe's coming in is going to get hooked back in by the Coggan. Gets off the stun. A little bit more damage from 50 Shades of Alpha, and they should be able to pick up the kill. Zibs is going to go in. Is he going to get the displacement? It's actually going to be Tools who picks up that kill. Now, turning onto the Zalgus, he's got to be very, very careful. Out comes the Zalgus chain. It lands onto 50 Shades of Alpha. He'll back up, and they'll pick up another kill for the side of BOB.
I want any Dibs players out there to take note of that. When we saw Tools, the first instinct he had wasn't to instantly use his ultimate and get out of the fight. He knew that MC Scrags was coming up and going to assist them in the gank, so he waited it out as long as he could, and as soon as MC Scrag got there, he popped his ultimate, giving everyone around him the power buff that it gives, and they were able to win the fight off of that. So really good decisive Dibs play right there to make sure you use your ultimate to get that AoE bonus buff for the rest of your team, and that's really what allowed them to get those kills. If he'd have just used his ultimate and ran away, they wouldn't have had that, or even if he used his ultimate early, they wouldn't have had it.
Aggressive play into the jungle. MC Scrags went for the buff steal. Now they've turned on a Beardish. He's going to go down. 50 Shades of Alpha picks up that kill. Coggan did secure his blue buff. Is going to get the knock up onto the Moya. Moya getting the bubble. Is going to ult up. In comes the Yashiba ultimate. They should be able to bring him back down. The ultimate from Calm. Everybody has rotated over. Are they going to get Scrags? They will get Scrags. And can they get the Coggan? 50 Shades of Alpha will pick up the Coggan. He's going to progress grade out of there. And now you've got Ashabel and this Renzo coming in to try and pick up another kill. It's very, very risky. The fear onto Renzo. They get off the stun onto the King of Masks, but I think that's going to be the end of the engagement. Everyone should probably be backing off. 50 Shades of Alpha, although is still going a little ham, does a little bit of damage to the cog. Progress grades over the wall, takes a huge chunk of damage, and is very, very low. They're continuing to siege up this tower for the moment, and I'd be careful if I were Ashbel. She's going to get snared. Gets the shield from the Renzo. That will be the disengage. I think it's just going to go back to a little bit of lane poking, and no one should be diving any plays. On the other hand, Coggan and Beardish are back up. Beardish making his way down into the lane, but I think we've seen the end of that fight. 5-1 on the side of BOB.
Very, very decisive team fight there, and even though MC Scrag was the only one to die, the rest of BOB played that out really well. Although I do want to commend Where's Para for a couple of plays they made. First of all, being able to catch out MC Scrag was good team communication in that part. The rotation was a little bit off.
A nice snare down on the Tools. Tools giving me a heart attack. I thought Zalgus might have the laser. He doesn't have it up, though. Oh, no, he does have it up. So, yeah, he could have lasered him.
It must have just came up.
He could have lasered him. That could have been the end of Dibs.
But at the same time, maybe he was zealous about Dibs' shield which might have been able to get him through that. I don't know if Dibs' shield was on cooldown or not, and there's also a chance to dodge it, so I think he was just waiting for the full-on engagement, maybe to land 2 chains or 3 chains or something like that and get the ultimate proc on multiple people. But we'll have to see how the rest of this game folds out, especially in the bot lane where a lot of action has been happening rather than the top lane. So looking around the map, also one other thing I want to commend Whereas Para about is that Kensu, it may have looked like he missed his ultimate, but he actually ulted to get to the fight, which was more beneficial than saving it.
Meanwhile, up in top lane, it looks like Tools is going to rotate over here, so we're going to get a little bit of action. Ashabal is doing a good amount of damage to Kensu, is going to chase him out. They are going to get the kill onto Calm. He did flash away. I think he lived through the burn damage. That was very, very impressive. I'm surprised he lived through that. Coggan came in for a kill, came in for the gank, and Scrags was able to come in for the counterplay. Meanwhile, in bot lane, 50 Shades of Alpha is able to pick up a free turret. Beardish not able to make it there in time. Is going to get there, soak up the farm, is going to be forced to back up. Tools got another follower over on the other side. Follower.
Yep. So I'm getting a word from chat that it's actually Mixcrag. That's his name, Mixcrag.
Yeah.
Not MC Scrag, Mixcrag. All right, so
is it Mixcrag telling us that, or is it somebody else?
And then Tools is Tools. He said Tulse. Wait, Tulse. No, not Tools. Tulse. Yes, it's Tulse. I did screw that up, but I fixed it. So it's Tulse. It's like you're saying pulse, but with a T instead of a P.
These are the things that we need help for, because nobody tells us these things. We just have to guess until someone tells us we're wrong.
Yep. But we are going back into the laning phase a little bit. A little bit of pings near Para. I think for the most part, people just want to make sure it's warded out, make sure neither team attempts to sneak it a little bit. Coggan, there goes the progress gate. He's not going to be able to catch up to Varion. And in terms of that Calm play that we saw a little bit earlier, Calm is really just one of the hardest shapers to catch in the game. He's got so many dashes, and they're on a pretty short cooldown as well.
I saw a haste Calm. It was terrifying. This Calm literally had every skill up every second. He had zeal.
Statistically impossible, but I'll take your word for it.
It was like maybe a 1 second difference. It was terrifying because he just had so much haste and so many ways to reduce his cooldowns with things like Harmony and Zeal. It was scary as all hell. Well, I doubt this Calm will go that build. It was very, very unconventional and didn't do enough damage. There are a couple of retreat pings down from BOB. They want to get their bot lane out of trouble. A little bit of danger there. I think just because they can't see where the Coggan is. Coggan's actually nowhere near there. There's a couple of pings over here to make a buff steal. Moya and Dibs moving over there. They should be able to get this without any trouble. And Coggan's actually making his way over. He has rotated, but I think it's going to be too late. He's going to walk into the bush, and they're going to go right on top of him. They get off the stun, a little bit of damage from the Varian. Out comes the ultimate from Moya. They're going to bring him back down. Now, nice dash straight through him, a little bit more damage. Out comes the laser from Beardish. That's going to bring him very, very low. Mixraz is going to pick up the kill. Now, Tools has ulted in. I almost called him Moya. I kept trying to call him Moya. The Dibs has ulted in, gets off the proc onto the Desecrator. I think that should be a disengage for the moment. They're going to ward up and do a little bit of harass to the Spirit while it's not unlocked yet, so they won't be able to stay there for too long. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Kensu and Ashabal are just going to continue to farm. Moya's actually on the backside. 50 Shades of Alpha taking a little bit of damage. They're going to get the stun off onto the Desecrator. He's going to need to back off. And a little bit more of an invasion. I can't. Tulse, you have to move your camera. Join the team, Dibs.
Yeah.
He cleared an entire Spirit well.
Beardish is almost keeping his eyes on the fight, but obviously he's going to be micromanaging his own shaper instead. So one thing that was really cool about that fight to see was that they managed to take that fight, and directly afterwards, even though they got a pick on the Where's Para jungler, BOB decided not to go for Para. And I think part of that is obviously the danger of taking Para. It's really easy to turn Para fights, but at the same time, it was still stage 1, so it was possible to burn it down and not risk too much and not take much damage from Para. But one possible thing they could have been doing was been saying, all right, I think we have enough control. We're 6-1, so we can wait out until it hits stage 2, and we can force a team fight and try to make the most out of Para. Because if they would have taken it 1 minute before stage 2, they would have had stage 1 Para not as big a buff. They don't get the power buff, power and health regen buff. that you get from Para, and a pulse stream is freezing a little bit. Is that just me, or is that
I think that's just
like
you. It looks fine for me right now.
okay? That's a little bit of a shame, but I'll just check out Beardish's stream for the moment.
Yep, and we do see Beardish rotating over here. They've decided to back up the Kensu and the King of Master in the top side of the map. Kogan does throw down the sands, isn't able to slow anyone down or get off any of the stuns, and they should be able to defend this for the moment. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Talus is like, I really, really want this Spirit Well, guys. It's really important that I steal this Spirit Well. So he's going to start to make some work on that. He does have his ultimate up, so he should be able to join the team at any time. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, 5-man stack, Kogan pressing aggressively forward, is looking to get off either a hook or a stun. Is just sort of roaming around that bush, and actually Scrags is up in this this upper Spirit Wall, in the North Spirit Wall, trying to steal it away. Is going to run right into the Kogan. Kogan's going to get off the sands. He's going to get off the stun. He hasn't gone for the hook yet. The binding is going to miss from Beardish, and now McScrags going into the middle of the fight. Tools hasn't bolted in yet. Out comes the Ashabel ultimate. A lot of damage down to the Kogan. They should be able to pick him up. Nice hook back in. He is going to get off the 5-man stun. In comes the laser. That's a lot of damage down him. Beardish is going to fall. And then onto the Ashabel they've decided to turn, but it's not going to be enough. Kensu is trying to dash away. He'll get away for just a couple more seconds doing the damage, but actually Ashabel knocked him back and starts to get off those sniping shots. A little bit more damage. Nice knockup from the Desecrator. Tulsa's going to need to back up, as well as the rest of his team. 50 Shades of Alpha is going to get snared. That could have been dangerous, but I don't think anybody can follow up on that damage. Kensu was there, but I think he was too low, and Tulsa's going to pick himself up another Spirit Well off of a 2-for-0, or a 2-for-1.
Yeah, really good shot calling over there on the side of BOB. Now, one thing they basically did there was say, all right, we know we're ahead. The kills are, I think at that point it was 6-1 in terms of kills. So they were definitely ahead. They had the item advantage. So what Mick Scraggs decided to do was he decided to pressure the Spirit Well, and that would force the rotate from Where's Para. And with that sort of rotation, they knew that they could stall out Where's Para to force them into bad positioning. And as we saw, Mick Scraggs managed to kite them around for a little bit and draw them into positions that weren't quite favorable for the type of team fight they were doing. And at that point, the rest of BOB rotated up and they were able to pick off people one by one, and they ended up winning that fight. It was a 2-for-1, so it wasn't as action-packed as we would have hoped for, but at the same time, it was still a good fight.
I don't know. There are plenty of low health bars. Plenty of action. Would have liked to see more bloodshed. More kills. I'm surprised that Zalgus wasn't able to get off a multi-laser. It was really, really close. I think Beardish got burned down with someone almost getting reset. He got off like a 4-man chain off of a Kogan stun. And, you know, I don't know. I guess the damage just wasn't there. He does have his destruction now, which should be pretty helpful. He doesn't have that much more power beyond that. He's got 1 extra power, but that's really not enough strength to burn through, you know, what was a pretty good front line. The Renzo did die, but pretty much everyone else was able to keep themselves alive. Meanwhile, we have another buff steal. Tulsa going in. Actually, a blitz right out of Kogan. He's going to throw the stun back, but he didn't want to get too close to McScraggs. That should be an easy resilient steal over for the side of BOB, and they will take that and run and probably group up with the rest of their team. They haven't managed to take that top tower. I'm surprised that Ashabel hasn't been able to push that down. I mean, it is a Kensu and a Calm, which is fairly good wave clear, just out of King of Masks, but weren't able to make the play, and Tulsa's just continuing the split push, and then, you know, roam over, ult over, and another buff steal coming out of BOB. They've got full control of this jungle, and that's what happens when a first tower goes down.
Yeah, and I apologize. I think it was actually internet issues on my part or something, because a few people ended up hearing my voice break up a little bit and stutter, but I think we're good now. Everything seems to be running very smoothly on my end, so hopefully that won't happen again. Now, unfortunately, we can't quite look at the builds all that much, seeing as these guys don't press tab enough. Obviously, it's their fault and not ours or anyone else's, but I'm just playing. But we can see what these two are building, and so on the side of Tulse, he looks like he's going for an early prosperity, or he already went for an early prosperity, which is a pretty standard item on a lot of shapers at this point, because it just gives you a lot of stats, and it's generally a good survivability item. A lot of health, a lot of magic resist, and a lot of armor. And on top of that, we also see him building Duress, which gives him more CC, and one of the few things that Moya,
But here we get
Dibs
the
is lacking
engagement
is CC.
right on to 50 Shades of Alpha. A lot of damage there. McScraggs diving into the backline is going to pick up, I think it was Calm. He did pick up the Calm. He's going to be able to chase them out, and now Coggin so low. Ashbel almost picks up the kill with him. A nice snare is actually going to miss. Nice flash out by Tulse, and that's going to be all the members from Where's Para very low. The only one still up with a little bit of a health bar is the Desecrator, and that's going to result in, I believe, a Parasite play for the side of BOB. They're all going to rotate over to there, and Tulse, I don't think, yeah, he did just ult into the middle of that fight, and his split pushing is becoming a serious problem. They had 5 men stacked up there for Where's Para in the top lane, and they still couldn't handle the engagement.
Yep, and BOB is going to be able to burn down this para before anyone can show up and test it from Where's Para. So very good pickup right there. And one of the things about Varion's mid game is that he's got a lot of consistent damage. Given the fact that there's no resource, Varion can just spam spells and spam spells all day long, and it's going to be able to allow him to proc his, I'm not sure what the spell is actually called, but his E, which gives him, the passive on his E, which gives him extra damage on the next 2 shots, as well as a little bit of a haste bonus after he uses any abilities. So that's going to help take a para near the mid game and the late game, and basically all around the game. He's just a good para taking shaper.
Yep. Yeah. Spirit Well going over to the side of Where's Para, they were able to pick that up. Asherbell on the other. Asherbell just ulted, just a wave of creeps. Couldn't tab over for that because that was a pretty quick animation. And Tulse is taking money pigs on his own. He does not care. This is a farming Dibs who's pretty much just built damage. The duress has become a very key item for a lot of, pretty much any support shaper. It's a free CC. It's a free snare, which is, I think, a little bit insane, and Waystone needs to nerf that item, like, desperately.
It is a pretty good item, and I'm seeing it being built a little bit more and a little bit more. We might want to hold off on the calling the nerfs, but if it sees too much more play, we might need to. Now, on the bright side, it doesn't really give you too much in terms of stats other than haste, so I guess that's a little bit of a downside of it, but it's still quite the admirable item that adds CC to any kit, really. But the cooldown is also what keeps it in check as well, because you can't simply auto-attack and snare everyone on the map with each and every one of your auto attacks, but we do see a little bit of sieging going on right now, and BOB is actually going to start rotating towards the top lane, and
I'd be careful if I were you. There's the duress proc onto Umluck. He's actually going to live. He's able to flash himself out of there. Now a nice hook back into the ultimate coming out of the Renzo. That's going to knock everybody up and negate the Coggin hook, and now Tulse has popped the ultimate. They are going to back off, and it looks like they're rotating over just to take another turret. They were able to pick up the kill onto a Monk. Surprisingly, I think there might have been an Ashabel shot over the wall. It looks like, no, it was actually 50 Shades of Alpha was able to get off the shot over the wall. So another kill going over to him, and that's another tower going down, and a very strong siege and very quick engagement comp coming out of BOB. They're able to jump on top of pretty much anything. Now turning onto the tower, Coggins in the middle of the fight, taking a little bit of damage. He needs to be careful. Out comes the Ashabel ultimate into the bit of the back line. They do get off the laser. Fluffy X takes a lot of damage. The Calm ult does go down. It only pulls in one member, and now Ashabel is so far into the enemy base. She did pick up a kill, but I think she's going to go down. Oh, the chase out to Ashabel. She will go down. It'll be the Calm picking up the kill, and now turning back onto the tower. Looks like BOB should be able to pick this up. Desecrator does come in, gets off a knock-up. That's going to slow them down a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They do get the stun off onto him. 50 Shades of Alpha is essentially full health. They need to be very careful about how they handle this. There was a wither down onto Kensu. He does get stunned, and now the chase is on. Coggin is looking for probably just the stun. His hook isn't back up. I don't think he's going to catch anybody because 50 Shades of Alpha is the closest target. He throws down the sands. Can he get off the stun? He actually does get off the stun. Instant blink away by 50 Shades of Alpha. A lot of damage. Kong does blink forward. Out comes the hook. They are able to hook them back in, and now 50 Shades of Alpha is shut down onto Fluffy X. He gets picked up. Cursed is the one who's able to get that one. Now everybody needs to quickly. Oh my god! Tulsa is going in for it. He's going in for this. He's going in for the sneaky tower. He pops his ultimate. Goes in with the super creeps. Can he get it? No. Beardish is there. And he says, "No, Tools. You will not have this. Your Dibs is not strong enough to take this tower."
He got a tiny bit of damage on the tower, but not quite enough to take it down, and, that tower's not really going to be standing for too much longer after BOB decides to start pushing, because if we look at their shapers, they have a really good siege comp. Ashabel is really good at both clearing waves and poking from a distance. If there's any sort of poking from a distance, Asherbell is probably the best at it, considering her range in Storm stance. No, Zephyr. It's Zephyr, right? Zephyr stance gives her more range. All right, one of her stances gives her more range, and it's going to make sure that she can poke out a lot longer distance than basically any other shaper in the game. And on top of that, we also have Varion, who's, as we talked about before, he has a passive on his E that lets him do more damage after he uses an ability. Really good for tower sieging. And if anyone decides to initiate, Renzo's got a good counter initiation. And those are really the three things that you look for in a siege comp. You want poke/wave clear, or you want poke, wave clear, and you also want ranged tower damage, and on top of that you want something to turn around an initiation if the other team decides to initiate, and they have everything right there. And as soon as the binding goes down, we can also see Mixgrag. I will get used to that. We will see Mixgrag using his ultimate to pick someone off and winning the team fight after they take the binding, so it's going to be a really hard position for Where's Para to come back into the game.
Where's Para? It's being done. That's where Para is right now. BOB is gonna pick this up fairly quickly. Should be going down in the next couple of seconds. They already have a lot of damage just between their two cores, and Moya does pretty good damage as a bruiser. This is kind of the bruiser gate right now. Bruisers are very, very strong in the meta. They're currently running 2 for this team, and then Dibs, and then Tulsa's Dibs. This very greedy Spirit Well taking Dibs. Either way,
it works though.
He's going for another one. Look at him.
So what he's doing right here is he's going to the Spirit Well, and he's only doing it when he has his ultimate, so he can join the fight at any time. What you don't want to do as Dibs is stay with your team, and as soon as your team initiates a fight, you then ult to run away and go to a Spirit Well. That's not how you play Dibs, because the amount of power that your entire team gets from being around you while your ultimate is up is quite substantial, and that's something that can straight up win a team fight. But we have an initiation
comes Scrags. He's able to dash right through the lines, gets off the ultimate now into an instant stun. They're very, very close to picking up a Monk. A little bit more damage. He's very, very low. He will try and dash away, but won't be able to get it into the backline. Beardish, he flashed right into the backline to get a backline laser on everyone, but wasn't able to pick it up. Now it looks like they should be able to turn into the rest of the base. The bruisers are healed, and there's a calm. They might be able to defend this out of sheer CC, and if they're able to protect the laser core for long enough. But that was a really strong initiation by Mixgrags. British tried to get the backline, but Dibs was able to ult right on top of him and block the laser that would have killed Asherbell and given Beardish the reset. Now turning onto the last core, they should be able to take this one down. The laser core is the only one left. I don't know why I was thinking about Spirit Wells. Out comes the laser. The laser may be able to zone them for long enough for them to pick up the Moya. No, they don't have enough damage. Both of their core damage dealers are down. They're coming up in about 5 seconds, but I don't think it's going to be long enough. They're able to push them back, and they're starting to do some damage to the Guardian. Guardian is about 75% dead. All the members are back up, but they're trying to push down onto it. A little bit more damage. Now in comes the initiation. They're able to knock up 50 Shades of Alpha, but 50 Shades of Alpha is able to do a bit of damage. There's a dragon on the
that's
map.
What I was telling you about earlier. Just like it's straight.
There's the dragon on the map.
There's no part in that animation where the dragon is straight, but if it ends the game while it's in motion, it just does that. Whatever. But really good game on that time by BOB. Really impressed with their play. Their rotations were really, really good, and I also like how Pulse played I keep calling him Moya, the Dibs matchup.
I know. I was like, he's playing Moya. He's playing Moya. The jungler is playing Moya. That's the screen.
It's a small fuzzy creature.
They're small and they're fuzzy. I think it was just because I'm so used to following some of our other casts. We had FThat, and Sheebs was playing so much Moya. It was like Moya Koggin were like the two junglers that we saw every time, and I was so used to following Moya, I kept thinking that I was following Moya, because Tulse, he's like got his camera like on the team and not on himself like half the time,
which is good. Like that's good for spectator.
Yeah, no, it was good.
It helps us out in the long run.
It was throwing me off a lot.
Which I know.
Is Moya alive? Is Moya dead? Am I following Moya? No.
I realize that helping us is #1 priority for these teams in any tournament they play.
Exactly. So that's actually the match, guys. This one was a best of 1. We weren't able to get the VOD to the finals, which would have been a best of 3, so we would have had another match for you guys.
Or maybe 2 matches. I don't think we've seen a Dawngate best of 3.
That is
Dawngate
true.
go to a game 3 in any of the matches we've casted so far. We've also only casted 2, so it's not really too big of a control group.
Yeah, that is very true. Our last few, there haven't been a lot of matches for us to commentate so far, but we appreciate you guys
Stick
showing.
note.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys showing up to watch. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some good footage out of the Sick Note tournament. Again, thank you for bearing with the fact that we're not casting necessarily at full capacity because we're trying to, I'm trying to manage the fact that I am the spectator mode and there's limitations on what we're able to see.
And as the color caster, I can't look at builds, I can't see all around the map. I'm also forced to talk about only what I see and not anything else. But I think it's going really, really well. I think we've improved from last time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything's been a solid improvement from the first one. If you guys go to our YouTube, if you guys look up At What Cost on YouTube, you guys will find the channel and all of the VODs from all of our other content. But like, if you guys go back and look at the first one, the casting was solid, except we couldn't see anything because the quality of the video was just so bad, and then they were so small because they were side by side because that was how we had done it the first time. Now we've got a slightly smoother process, but we appreciate you guys showing up to watch, and hopefully.
Well, seeing as this was a 36-minute stream, I'm up for some chat stuff. If you guys have questions to ask us, if you want conversations or whatever,
Yeah,
I'm completely up for that. And I want to say big shout outs to the Dawngate community in general. You guys have been really great. You guys have been supportive. I love seeing you guys coming out to watch any of At What Cost productions, whether it's the show on Sundays or whether it's these new shoutcasts we're doing. Really glad to see you guys out, and it's a really good community so far. I'm liking the way it's going.
yeah. So if you guys have any questions for us about casting, about the games, about Dawngate, throw them in the
About
chat
anything.
while we chill for pretty much anything.
If you want to ask us about molecular biology or whatever, we'll try to bullshit as best we can. I guess.
We'll get Zach in here, and he'll be like, "You guys are idiots," and then we'll be like, "Zach, please, Zach, please," and then he'll just be like, "No," and leave, and that'll be the best that'll be the closest we get to explaining molecular biology and nonsense.
Is that even a thing? Molecular? I feel like it is.
When are we getting a subscribe button? Maybe in a long time. This channel, maybe, because we are part of Surreal Gaming. We're some of the core founders in the organization, it's a separate esports organization. If you guys look at the stuff at the bottom of the page, you can check that out. In terms of At What Cost on its own, I think we'll be producing most of our content again off of this channel. So when this channel gets a subscribe button, then maybe. You guys can subscribe to the YouTube. Pretty much all of our content, if you guys can't watch it live, immediately goes up on the YouTube within a day to a day and a half, depending on how much stress I can put my computer under. Why is there a black hole in the center?
No, what is at the center of a black hole? Also, before we answer that, or attempt to answer that, I have to say, Salisbury Steak.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Name. That's a really
he's been
good
around
name.
for a while.
I like that name.
Yeah, I've seen him. Why
Salisbury Steak.
And why do quantum mechanics
Awesome.
cause event horizons to fluctuate so much? Actually, my buddy in the other room. So this is actually about quantum mechanics. My buddy in the other room was looking at his transcript the other day because he had to submit it for a job. And he's looking at his transcript and it says Intro to Quantum Mechanics, and he's like, I never took that. I never took that class. And he calls up his buddy. He's like, dude, did we take this class? He's like, yeah, you never showed up. He got an A in the class. It says A on his transcript that he aced this basic quantum mechanics class that he never went to. So that's how much I know about quantum mechanics.
You know that your friend sort of took or your buddy sort of took the class. Yeah, that's the extent of your knowledge on quantum mechanics.
You'll sub, then you'll pay. I mean, you should Divin Dice. You should check out Dawngate. If you like MOBAs, it's something entertaining to watch. And if you just like hearing us,
Wait, Braun.
What?
Do you not remember Dice?
Oh, it's Dice. It's Dice.
From TDTV, man.
So
Those were the
tired.
days.
It's so.
So glad you found us again. And yes, Braun is still
Braun is still bald. And, hey, it is not my fault that my jeans were trash and I've run out of hair. It's why I wear the hat. If you guys watch the show, I'm always wearing the hat. I took it off during one episode. That is the lost episode. I took it off during episode 5.
Oh, really? That was the
again.
lost episode?
I think so.
That's why we lost it, because you took your hat off.
I took off my hat. Either way, I think at this point we'll bring down the stream. Show will be up on Sunday. I believe that the main focus of At What Cost this week is going to be the one, the only, the god, the destroyer, Basco. He's been talked about a little bit on, they went into him into solid detail on Money Pigs back on Monday after he'd been out for a week and everyone had gotten a chance to mess around with him. Now we will have him for 2 weeks. He'll be hot fixed, which will be pretty cool. Sunday, 8 p.m. EST is when the show will be on. So yeah, we'll get a look at hot fixed Basco, and get to take a look at how his mechanics have changed a little bit.
Also, if you guys are wondering what this whole surreal thing is about, Ron and I here actually, we are co-founders of Surreal Gaming, so don't worry about At What Cost changing at all.
Yeah, no one gets to mess with us.
No one from higher up in the chain of authority gets to tell us what to do because we are the chain of authority. So
we don't have to listen to the man because we are the man.
Exactly. So At What Cost is still gonna stay that community-focused thing that you guys know and love. I don't know what to talk about after.
I think
What I was gonna end on.
Yeah. Go check out the rest of our content on the YouTube. Go check out all the stuff we have over at What Cost. Hotfix Tabasco. Hotfix Tabasco. Yes, indeed. The Basco sauce
Ron's been making Tabasco jokes all the time whenever I play Basco.
It's been pretty bad. But yeah, check out the stuff we have on At What Cost at the YouTube. Check out Surreal Gaming, and we'll see you guys on Sunday for our next episode.
Have fun.
Thanks for watching. Boop.